Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Gonna do an in-depth overview of our Luxe truck turnkey 2022 Ram 5500. You've probably seen this on the luxehaulers.com website. If not, I would suggest going there. All of the options that we're gonna go over on the truck and the upfit are listed out there. So you can see that, after the video, you can check that out. Everything I talked about is listed there. So I would suggest you grab your favorite snack and a beer, take a seat. It's gonna be a long video. I'll wait. Luxe, get trucking. All right, guys, like we said, we're gonna do an in-depth overview today of the 2022 Ram 5500 Luxe truck, the turnkey truck that we offer. So that's obviously the chassis and the entire upfit. As we stated in the intro there, we do have a luxehaulers.com website. We'll have a link there for you to go check that out. It's gonna spell out every option that we've ordered the Ram itself with from the dealer. So all of the codes that we use from Ram, so you know exactly what's on the chassis and what's not. And then again, it's gonna call everything on the body and the upfit. In a nutshell, for the chassis itself, it's a limited 5500. Really the only couple options that we didn't order on the original trucks, but we plan to order that you won't see there, are dual alternators and the inner aluminum wheel. That's pretty much what we didn't get on the limiteds. There's some other accessory electrical packages and things that you can order that don't really fit our upfit. So you really can't literally check every box, because then you start to negate other options you want. They're limiteds. They have the 360 camera view on the ones that we have ordered after these first 5 that were placed. So you won't see that on that list, but that's something for sure for the 2023s that we're gonna have on order as well. We currently have eight more 2022s on order, but we don't believe we're gonna get those. So currently we do not have any of these that are actually for sale for the 2022 year. We plan to order more chassis and have the first one rolling out approximately the beginning of 2023. Those will be 2023 Ram 5500s. And again, depending on what changes Ram makes, we don't know that yet. We can't order those. So we plan to do them the same way that we've done these. On this truck specifically, you can see it has the indigo frost interior. I'm not really sure. It is kind of a bluish black, but for the most part, it really looks black to me. They call it indigo frost. But at the end of the day, really, it's kind of just a black and tan, as far as I can tell. And then we do offer a black interior. So those are the 2 interior choices that we had for 2022, and I assume that's probably gonna be what we have for 2023. But again, we'll play with that and see. But we do offer either one of those leather options currently. The Ram itself has heated leather seats, cooled seats in the front, heated seats in the rear, the big touch screen. Again, that's all part of the limited. The digital display rear view mirror. They are all 4-wheel drives. We can special order an 84, but currently we're ordering all these as 60 CA trucks. Those are things that we kind of allow as we get into. There are, believe it or not, some options that we can do and change on the turnkey truck, even though it's very optioned out to begin with. So from inside the cab there, you can see that we have done our ATTA auxiliary fuel tank. That's where we mount the gauge and the switch for that. It's an automatic transfer. It keeps track of the fuel that's in the factory tank, automatically transfers it into the factory tank when the truck basically calls for it. It has a little brain box. It does all that for you. So basically when the switch is on, you're good to go down the road as long as you have fuel in there. That's what the gauge is for. You can read the fuel in the fuel tank. So moving back to the body. The body starts out as our Elite 60, just like, if you called the Bodywerks and provide your own truck, It's our Elite 60, and then we've optioned it out as our turnkey truck. So when we do the turnkey truck, again, it's very optioned out. It's very specific on the options that we are already adding to the truck, kind of taking some of that guesswork, some of the legwork of figuring out exactly what you need and what you don't need. We feel like these options work very well for pulling a fifth wheel or a horse trailer. There's additional lights, fuel tanks, and things. We're going to get into all the kind of meat and potatoes of those options. With that being said, this truck does have some options that are, again, like I was saying, on top of the normal options for the Elite. This customer opted to add the penny lights here. Those are an option. Those aren't standard. Normally there would just be one light on each corner of the body, basically, but we can do these penny lights. We do allow you some customization, even though you're already getting a bunch of standard options. Standard options on the actual Luxe truck include front and rear air ride, Kelderman air ride, dual tanks, an air chuck in the compartment if you want to air up a tire. Comes with the painted fuel fills, standard. These are all standards. The truck comes with dual fuel tanks, standard as well. And we pair the DEF and the fuel together here in this front fuel fill. It used to be in the compartment. We just found that problematic. So this is definitely a nice change for the product. Painted fender flares are standard on the Luxe truck as well. The flip down bed steps here from Amp Research, these are standard as well. So it just gives you a bigger platform. You can actually get both feet on that, stand up there to get to the fuel tank or possibly to the hitch. If you're short like I am, this definitely works nicely for me. Trailer Saver actually also sends this extension that goes on to the hitch itself. So you don't even actually have to stand up there to release that. That would just slide on to the hitch lever to release it. And then you would just pull it like this. And then there's also a release to release inside here for the pin. So it's kind of up to you if you want to climb up on the step and do it by hand or use the extensions that they send. Stainless steel on the bottom is standard. Again, like we were saying, the lights are an option. These don't have to be on there, but those are an option that we can do on the turnkey trucks. The clear paint film on the leading edges, this is already built into the standard Luxe truck as well. You can, if you look really close, you can just see the edge of it there. Again, we put that clear on there. We want to do everything monotone. That's how we've ordered the truck. So we're really trying to key it together with a monotone look. Painted fender flares, again, monotone look. We want these flares to look like the front. So a lot of times try to explain to guys, how that's going to look. A lot of people like our polished fender flare. It's a nice option, but to me, it doesn't really match well because from the factory, you've already got a painted fender flare on the front. So why not do a painted fender flare on the rear to really keep it as factory as possible? The stainless steel hardware, handles and hinges, these are an option as well on the Luxe truck. It's not standard. Our standard is our black handles and hinges. But again, we do allow you some customization there. The fuel tank, the big fuel tank, this is where we really allow the most customization when we're talking up here in the center compartment area. Normally this comes with a center compartment that does allow a 53-gallon fuel tank. This is our 114-gallon fuel tank. So you can see that this fuel tank actually omits that center compartment and we can give you more fuel storage. So when we pair the 114-gallon tank up with the dual factory tanks, we're at 188 gallons, 74 and 114. For a total of 188 gallons total on the truck. And like I said, we can do a 53-gallon fuel tank that actually interlocks with that center compartment. Or we can get rid of all that and do a large center compartment that we call the coffin door. So it gives you the absolute maximum enclosed storage space, dry, sealed up, weatherproof storage. The Trailer Saver hitch, the Trailer Saver hitch is standard with all the turnkey trucks as well. We order them with a third airbag, so we have a total 7,500 pound pin weight that works amazing with our luxury Luxe fifth wheels. and then up to 32K towable rating. So that hitch is rated to tow up to 32,000 pounds. Definitely going to exceed anything that we build. You know, now if you can always buy this truck, obviously, for whatever your needs are. It doesn't have to be paired with our coach. So, you know, we may need to look at that depending on what you're trying to tow with it. Moving to the back of the truck, we've installed our rigid light package as standard with the Luxe truck. So these center two have diffused lenses. You can see that they look different than the outside ones. The reason for that is the center two rigid lights there with the diffused lenses are set up to really broadcast the light in the immediate area behind the truck as you're backing up. Those come on with the reverse itself. So when you put the truck in reverse, those automatically are going to come on. Those are your reverse lights. These outer rigid lights that have a clear lens are a floodlight, and those are activated by the auxiliary switch on the dash. So we're using the factory upfitter switches, auxiliary switches, to turn these on when you want, basically. When you want that extra light when you're backing up. And again, it works very well with the rigid lights that we mount up high. So all four lights on the light pylon are on the same switch. These work lights are really kind of designed to kind of flood this area of the bed for hooking up. And these two rigid lights up high, the idea there, the design is those are broadcasting back behind the truck towards the pin when you're coming to hook up. So we're really trying to get as much light as possible for those nighttime hookups, or maybe at the camp you're wanting some light to do some stuff around the campsite. You never know. It's better to have them than not. So the lights are a great add to the build for sure, and they're standard. The penny lights across the back, again, that's all part of this penny light package. We've kind of set up a standard penny light package, the additional lights. We definitely need these three in the center for the DOT, and then we've just kind of spread them out across the back to finish them off. All the rams that we're ordering, again, they come with the backup sensors. Those are installed standard. We order them with the auxiliary camera here so you can see the hitch in the back of the truck when you're backing up. And that works with the high mount camera also that displays on the dash, on the big screen in there, the 12.8 screen that's in there. And it does have a zoom function, all those factory functions, so you can see the fifth wheel when you're hooking up. And then there's actually a third camera in the high mount brake light that is your rear view mirror. It doubles as a rear view mirror. So you can actually turn that on and off at the mirror inside the truck. It can work as a normal glass reflection type mirror, or it can be literally a digital display of what that camera's seeing behind the truck. We ordered the chassis also, and again, this changed a little bit. All the chassis have the function for the 360 camera system built in with the 7-way. So there's actually two plugs there, and then this is actually the rear view camera on the trailer. So the chassis have all been provisioned that way, but on the trucks going forward that we're ordering, we'll have all the harness as well to go on your towable. Most likely that system, at least the rear view camera system, isn't gonna work with like a Luxe coach because they're too long. We haven't actually installed Ram's 360 camera system on our coaches. That would need to be really done in the construction phase, and you would need to get with your Luxe luxury fifth wheel salesperson on that to kind of coordinate that. But if you have like something else that you're purchasing, or you want to like say like a fishing boat or a small enclosed trailer or something you're using dual purpose, it might work very well for that. All of the turnkey trucks, really any of the chassis cabs that we build and put our bed on, we've got to extend the exhaust out and get it turned down. So we put a MBRP stainless turn down on that to get it away from our wiring and our paint and the bed itself, and just clean it up, make it look nice. We do Luxe mud flaps on all the turnkey trucks. It gets the Luxe logo on the turnkey trucks. Again, even though it's being produced by the Bodywerks, you'll see that, you know, we put our Bodywerks logo here on the bed. We are one and the same. Luxe Trucks, Utility Bodywerks is just kind of branding these as turnkeys. As like you would go to a dealer show up, this is the truck that's on the lot, and kind of take it or leave it as far as the options that are on it. Or if you get going on the order before we have the truck built, again, that's where we allow the options. That's where we can change some things up. But again, you're still going to get all of those items that are listed on the luxehaulers.com website, all of those items, all those options that are built in, that comes standard. So we're not really going to look to take away any of that stuff. That's where you would go to the Bodywerks side of things. You would provide the truck, then we'd build it exactly the way you would want it option-wise. All the compartments have LED lights. That's all standard in each compartment. The LED lights, the black lizard skin coating inside the compartments. It's a ceramic coat, ceramic-based coating. It's not durable like a bed liner, and that's not really the goal there. It kind of allows a no-slip surface that's not as durable as bed liner, but the ceramic in it, the idea is to keep these compartments from sweating when they're all closed up. We also vent the body itself, so the body is not submersibly waterproof, okay? It definitely should not be getting water in the compartments going down the road or when you're washing. It shouldn't be getting water in these handles or the hinges or the door seals themselves. But and it's kind of hard to see on the Rams. You'd have to be looking like across there really, but there's a stainless steel clamshell vent is what we call it. It's a little shiny guy all the way on the far side. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick that up, but long story short, those are there, and that's what allows the air from outside to come into the compartments. And then through the wiring and everything, through the box, I can turn a light on there if you want to see in there. But basically the wiring goes through these holes, all these boxes are interconnected that way, and it allows them to stay ambient temperature. Again, the whole goal is so that tools and things that are in there aren't sweating and condensating and moisture, and then things start to rust. Our light pylon is standard on every build. Again, the light pylon does not standardly get these penny lights there as well. That's all part of that penny light option. And then the Kelderman suspension, which if you've seen our videos before, we do a lot of Kelderman suspensions. You can see the airbag, the air ride. That's completely replacing the leaf springs. So you're only on air in the rear. There's a track bar. It's going to control the axle side to side. And it's all automatic. It's going to maintain its ride height all on its own. There's nothing for you to do. Really, as long as the system's working, it's no fuss. It'll take care of itself. It'll do everything else. Now to say that I want to clear that up a little bit. So I've had this question before and we've gone through this with some other customers, but it's going to maintain its ride height. But when we say it's not going to maintain the hitch height exactly, specifically, the thing to consider there is going to be some squish in the sidewall of the tires, okay? So that the suspension isn't going to compensate for the squish in the tires. It's going to maintain, a frame to axle measurement basically with the airbags. So to say the hitch is going to stay static, that isn't quite true. There is going to be a little discrepancy there, and depending on how much pin weight you have, how much payload is on the truck, or on that pin, sorry, of how much the tires are going to squish themselves. So, and then we have the air ride suspension up front. So a lot of guys ask if that's really necessary. We feel like it is, especially for our Luxe customers. That's why we've included it in our turnkey truck. It really absolutely, hands down, gives you the absolute best ride possible. They pair that with the Rancho Series shock. It is adjustable for the rebound and compression, so that's nice. They give us a recommended setting. We usually use that and have no issues. It does come with a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty on everything that we've done on there. And then obviously the chassis itself comes with Ram's warranty. I don't know exactly what that is. I apologize, but it's going to have a full Ram warranty on the chassis itself. Nothing we do is going to void the warranty in any way or supersede it or void it. So there's no worries on the chassis, the motor, the driveline, all that. That's all covered by Ram. Every truck that we sell, we have a dealer license, so it is going to be you will be the first owner. We have a certificate of origin that Ram produces, and that's what you would take to the license branch that would actually turn that into the title. So you would be the first owner on the title, the first name on the title. We send a whole packet of information for the warranty stuff, everything to fill out to cover that. And we go through all that when we deliver the truck. So this is hopefully a very good overview of the turnkey truck, the Ram 5500, 22 Ram 5500, four-wheel drive, turbo diesel Cummins, obviously. Hopefully this helps you guys when you're trying to figure out exactly what the turnkey truck is and why we'd want to do that versus sending your own truck here, which we can always do on the Bodywerks side, but that's a whole different video. The thing to really remember that I try to drive home with customers when we're talking about the turnkey versus them sending their own truck is we've optioned this out again the way we feel like you would definitely need, especially if you're looking at our Luxe luxury fifth wheels. And the pricing is identical. So whether you send me this exact truck and put the same options on it, or if I provide the truck, the options are going to be the same price. So you're not paying some inflated, bloated price on because we acquired the truck and did the options. So it's going to be the same pricing either way. And we can do like a Luxe truck option for your truck. So the guys that are wanting a truck now, and obviously we don't have the trucks, again, we can talk about that through the Bodywerks side. You send the truck, we got a drop code. We can do all that like normal. But this is the overview of the Luxe turnkey Ram 5500. Thanks for viewing. Talk to you soon.